Now, Nick put the solution to the problem into 3 buckets, and I wonder if you could respond. Ease of voting, mail-in, early voting, automatic voter registrations, security of votes cast, voter ID, cybersecurity, paper trails, protecting election workers, and preventing subversion, Electoral Account Act reforms, and trying to keep the selection process from becoming partisan.
Yeah, I don't want to give sort of a blanket approval to every one of those, but I think that most of those make a lot of sense. And you know, I think one thing that is really important that has to sort of provide the foundation for any election reform is I don't want the federal government involved in our elections in a way that is extra constitutional. And you know, there are too often now, I go back to January 6th before the attack and to January 4th and 5th when we were having all of these debates in the Republican conference about objecting to the electoral votes. And I kept coming back to the idea that we don't want Congress picking our president. It's not constitutional. And if I were to say, I think Congress can object to the electoral votes from California, then what's to protect Wyoming if somebody, a Democrat from California, decides, you know what, I don't like the way Wyoming cast their 3 electoral votes. I think Congress ought to change that. That's not how our system works. And I think as we're looking at changes, voter ID is really important. I think making sure that we have absentee ballots opened and counted. You know, we need to have an end to the election. It's nice to have the end be on election day. I think that we also ought to work to clean and clear out voter rolls. You know, that is something that is fundamentally important but becomes a political hot potato. I also think that ballot harvesting is a real problem, and ballot harvesting goes on where, you know, people go around and collect a bunch of ballots and you know, take them all to a single location to vote, and that opens up possibilities for fraud. So I think we need to empower our states to make sure that they're doing everything they can to continue to improve the integrity of our elections, and that ought to be nonpartisan.